You are a monkey, 90% of the time. You are distracted so easily, it's crazy. And so am I. I watched this video until the end and then I installed what he asked me to install in the video before I continued to write this part. We also overthink and procrastinate even more. So generally we are a monkey who looks for his next fix of dopamine and instant gratification. And in today's video, I'll share with you 3 ways to contain that inner monkey. And I will be accompanied by Shetty. Well, not actually Jay, but his book. Well, not actually his book, but the audiobook. Okay, let's get it started with the first problem that you're facing, which is you care too much about what people think of you. So instead of living the life that you deem valuable, you think what others think of you and act accordingly. There's a cool quote that says, "I am not what I think I am, and I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am." Take a moment to think about this. You are going to die. 2 weeks after you die, most people will have forgotten about you. 6 months after you die, no one will talk about you. So if people don't care about you enough when you die, which is arguably the most significant event of your life, how much credibility or weight should you give people's opinion on what you do with your life? The answer? Very little. You can also care about other people's opinion in a positive way. For example, I care very much what you think about my content and how I can improve. I would love to hear it down in the comments below. And if you're there, hit the like button. Now let's move on to the second thing that makes us a monkey, and it's the scared of fear. So we are afraid to fear, and you're not to blame. We are taught from very young age that fear is bad. We are taught to avoid anything that scares us and seek comfort and safety. But the thing is that in order to grow and learn, we actually need to do the exact opposite. Look, we have 4 responses to fear: panic, freeze, run away, and bury it. So instead of doing all the things that we are used to, we can use it in a different way. See, fear is used to protect us in some cases. And we develop these fears from young age. So if kids were mean to us in school, then maybe we would shut down if something like that happened, or we would shut out people so we are not hurt by them. But the thing is that some of these fears are not of use to us in our adult life. So here's how we can use the fears. First, we need to acknowledge the fear. Call out your fear. Don't let it control your thoughts. For example, when I'm about to post a link or start a project, I think to myself, what will people think about it? Then the overthinking begins and the fear starts to set in. So instead, what I do is I stop and I say to myself, I'm scared that the project will fail, and I fear of what others will say about my post. At that moment, I'm aware of my fear, and it's much easier to make the switch and press the send button. Number 2, rate the fear. Now, in order to avoid any further escalations of the fear, you rate your fear on a scale from 1 to 10, where 10 is the absolute worst nightmare you can imagine. So my fear is around a 5. It's scary, but it's not the end of the world. I have plenty more time to try new things, try new posts, create more projects. Some of them are going to fail, probably most of them. So I should learn from the mistakes and the failures. Number 3, find your fear patterns and detach from them. Ask yourself this: when do I feel this fear? All of your fears come from an attachment to something. So the solution is to detach from this thing. So I mostly feel it when I'm about to launch a new project or send a new post, and when I get negative feedback. Why? Because I'm scared that if something will not work, I have spent all my savings being at home and not working just to make my dream come true, and end up empty-handed with no income. This is the root of my problem. The fear that I will have spent my time for nothing. The trick is to keep asking yourself why until you reach the deepest reason. And once you understand your fear, you can start working on detaching from it one step at a time. Okay, now number 3, improve your routines. Now that we are aware of our problems and we have some tools to deal with them, we need to improve our routines and integrate the tools into them. Wait, before you click off thinking another morning routine video, this is not one of those videos. In fact, I'm against sticking to a morning routine forever just because it works for somebody else. And the funny thing is that most likely most of the successful people you know didn't have any morning routine before they became successful. They just spent most of their time working on their craft and becoming better and just becoming successful. Then they realized that they need some life balance, so they build up some routines. I, for example, have tried to meditate every morning for 20 minutes and I did it for over 100 days. But I felt like it slowed down my days and it didn't bring me any concrete and worthwhile value, so I just stopped it. And what I do right now is wake up every morning and block between 1 to 3 hours of writing time. And this routine is good for this stage of my life, maybe not for the next year, I'm not sure, but it's what works for me right now. And that's exactly what I advise you to do. So what I advise you to do is try different routines. Don't stick to something that used to work for you and you want to make it work again. And when you try new ones, give each one at least a month to see how you feel about it and how it makes your day. And don't feel bad if something like meditation is not for you, or going to the gym every morning. Don't force it beyond these 30 days. Do what's best for you and integrate things that are aligned with your values. And if watching Netflix in the morning is something that aligns with your values, then by all means do it. But there is another question now that comes up. Can you actually change? Can you actually control that monkey in the head? Can you think like a monk? Well, I answered this question in this video. Go check it out. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.